What's up, card fighters? BOTCG here, and y'all, we had the support. Y'all know I had to build the deck. Straight out the gate, guys, I know this isn't gonna be the best deck out there. It's gonna be a Rogue Warrior. I know this, but you know, it's my favorite deck since D started. So I had to show it some type of love. Now I'm gonna start the profile with, this isn't gonna be like a stock standard list of BAROMAGNES. This is more of like my first general ideas / first draft of the deck with the new support. I could possibly make some slight adjustments after I've gotten to play a couple games with it, but this is the first thing I thought of. It might not be the most competitive version of the deck, but I know that this deck just, it's not where it needs to be competitive. It's still missing quite a few things, in my personal opinion. But let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. We're going to start off with the grade 3s. We're playing after like 10,000 years. I'm trying it. I have space, so I'm trying it. I'm playing 3 copies of the BAROMAGNES in the main deck. It feels like so long that I haven't been playing Persona Rides, even though you do benefit from Persona Ride in the deck, but it got cut because Persona Ride was always just a Soul Charge 1, whether you wanted all your cards to be Soul Charge 2 or greater. So we had space for it, so we're putting it in the deck. I'm not sure if it'll stay in the deck or not, but I did want to give the college try. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Curtis, Easy Soul Charge 2. The second ability doesn't get used as much as it used to back in the day, but we're just playing it because it Soul Charges 2. 4 copies of Selfish Engraver. The on-hit doesn't come up as much as it used to, but again, we're playing it because it's counter charge and it does go to Soul. Next is 4 copies of Cutting Sword Quigara, or aka Mr. Twin Sword. This can become a Soul Charge piece if you have the doll on the field. So it's Soul Charge 1 will become a Soul Charge 2, but this lets you have this is a power buff, but it lets you have access to any card into Soul just for a counterblast and a discard. So it's very nice in this deck. Just like the toolboxy nature of it, we can start toolboxing up Persona Reds again. We're not just toolboxing for perfect guards, because that's literally what this guy's function was for like, I want to say like years at this point. Like D's been going on for that long. His function, like once we took out Persona Reds from the main deck, his function literally was on call. Do we have the counterblast resource? Okay, we're grabbing a PG from Soul. We're grabbing the Overtrigger from Soul. Next, 4 copies of the new hotness, Hardening Insight. This guy's really good in this deck. I wish he drew cards. I understand it might have been a little bit too good if he drew cards, but the fact that he lets you recycle cards from your drop zone, and he Soul Charges 2 on top of that, and he's a 15k beater by himself is amazing. Let me go over his skills real quick so y'all know I ain't capping. It has auto when it's placed on rear guard. If you have a grade 3 greater Vanguard with BAROMAGNES in its name, Energy Blast 2. Choose up to 2 normal units from your drop zone, put them on the bottom of your deck in any order, and Soul Charge 2. And then he has continuous rear guard during your turn. If your Soul has 15 or more cards, or you've Soul Charged a total of 3 or more times this turn, this card gets plus 15k power. It does it all. It really does do it all. Again, what I feel like this deck is still lacking, which I'm not sure if the Persona Rides will help fix that, but I feel like this deck is still lacking card advantage. It's still very piece heavy. This isn't necessarily like a one card combo. Usually your combo is like a 2 to 3 to 4 card combo, but this does definitely help the deck in so much. It helps the deck that it just makes it turns like, because you were running the 2k beat stick, because he was a very good beat stick for this deck, but he didn't Soul Charge, and now the fact that your beat sticks now Soul Charge is awesome. And then moving on to the grade 1s, we're playing 3 copies of the main deck Flaming Pony, 4 copies of Brainwash Swirlers. We can still get this boy pretty fat. And then 4 copies of the Star of the Show. You still hard mulligan for this. In my personal opinion, you still hard mulligan for this. Direfordal Amonadine. This is the one that lets you, for a counterblast, increase all your Soul Charges by 2, and then she becomes like an 18k beater. Moving on to the rest of the deck. I'm playing. This is a personal choice. You can play the Blitz Order PG if you really want to, but I'm playing the DPGs because generally this deck's hand size is not very large, so you can get more bang for your buck off of the D Perfect Guards than normal. One of the Dark States Overtrigger. Again, this is just a personal choice. This is me not trying to make this deck the most competitive version, but I'm just building it the way that I feel like the deck should be built. So you can play the blue Overtrigger in this slot if you want to. I'm just playing the Dark States OT because I love Dark States. 3 fronts. This is not just because I like fronts. I've always felt that fronts were better in this deck than draw triggers, just because I've never gotten that luck with the draws, in my personal opinion. I always drew them, I always soul charged them, and it just never felt, I never felt like I got the value out of running draw triggers in this deck. I've always wanted the fronts, because even if I got the fronts, there was times that I didn't have any Perfect Guards or the Overtrigger in Soul, that I'll just like throw away a 15 to get the front because it's a 20k shield, so it's a net shield value. And this deck generally doesn't have a lot of shield value to begin with. 4 of the Into Soul crit. This does come up in this deck, so you do want to run these. 4 vanilla crits and 4 vanilla heals. Again, it's just personal preference of the heals. If you wanted to run a couple of the effect heals, that's completely on you. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try this out at locals. I'm not gonna have the highest expectations of winning. I don't think this deck can beat Shiranui, even though like the last time I fought against Shiranui, it was like so weird that I beat them. It was such a weird game. Like so many things happened that normally don't happen. Yeah, this is just me trying to like, it's like the homogenized, fun-ish, casual-ish version of this deck. Like casual-ish slash the best way I can build it personally. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Tell me what you're doing with your BAROMAGNES decks down below. I'm sure like there's like builds that are playing the new grade 1 that like fishes for a normal order from your deck for a discard. And I'm sure there's so many things that you can do with this deck now. And I would love to hear all of them. So yeah, y'all have a great night. Later.